Hi, I'm Maisie and this is CCN's Weekly News 5 at 5, September 30. This week the Central Coast local case tally has steadily increased, with Central Coast Local Health District confirming that the local case tally has now reached 749 since the start of the current outbreak. Another 36 cases was reported in the last 24 hours to 8 p.m. last night. The local district has also resumed publishing the potential exposure site listings. Among the new listings published yesterday was the Palm Beach Ferry and a series of Coles and Woolworths stores across the coast. The full list of exposure venues and dates can be found on the New South Wales Health website. And breaking news this afternoon with the resignation of Premier Gladys Berejiklian. The news follows the Independent Commission Against Corruption's announcement this morning that it will be investigating whether she has breached public trust between 2012 and 2018. But what does this mean for the Central Coast? We asked Parliamentary Secretary for the Central Coast, Adam Crouch, for comment, but have not yet heard back. However, the Deputy Premier, John Barilaro, said the following. The New South Wales Liberal Party is expected to meet on Tuesday to formally elect a new leader and Premier. In disappointing news for many, the coast has been reclassified again, this time as outer metro for regional travel purposes. Our reporter Sky Hall has more details.
Three important dates we need to remember. Obviously, the prediction of the 11th of October being stage 1 rollout, the 25th of October predicted for the stage 2, and December 1st flagged as stage 3.
But what does this mean? Gyms, hairdressers and hospitality and retail are set to trade again when the state reaches 70% double vaccination rate. While students return to school and wedding and funeral caps are removed when New South Wales reaches 80%. However, the unvaccinated won't be granted these freedoms until December 1.
And the state government's public inquiry into Central Coast Council has been labelled a sham, with technological issues plaguing the start of the inquiry this week. Check this out. Ratepayers could face a hike of up to 34% in their water rates from July 1 next year if the proposal from Central Coast Council is accepted by the IPART. The IPART's reviewing the maximum prices that Council could charge for water, wastewater and sewerage. I talked to Rick Hart earlier this week.
What our application says, if we got the maximum that we asked for water, sewer and drainage, the rate would be $1,372 per annum. That's if we got the full amount. So if you compare the proposed rate from us compared to what the former GOS were paying, which was $1,429, you can actually see it's a 4% reduction in what people were paying back in 2018. When you go to Wyong, of course, the reverse applies. So you now have a factor where they were paying $1,195, it goes up to $1,372, which is the quoted 34% increase.
And the Central Coast surfer had an extremely close encounter with a great white shark this week. Coast Communities News, spoke to former World Tour star Amy Donohoe about the incident at McMaster's Beach, where we caught up with her.
Oh look, we're talking a couple of arms lengths, so no more than 5 feet away. So I think such a unique experience to probably one of very few people that would be able to say they've seen a great white shark up that close. It's just such a surreal experience, really. Not something that I'd expect. I've lived here and surfed here for 35 years, and it was just a phenomenal experience to see, but also quite intimidating.
Dozens of coasties joined in a national strike action today. The authorised workers participating in today's legal industry-wide action pointed out that there weren't anti-vaxxers, they were simply fighting for their right to choose. Here's a little footage from the demonstration.
So look, Reclaim the Line is essentially an industrial strike action on behalf of workers in the workplace, representative of industries such as teaching, healthcare, nursing, paramedics, firefighters, police, construction, a rather large list.
Many believe there is other options worth exploring further.
So if this is really about workplace safety, then we really need to consider that there are other options to make the workplace safe. And we're aware now that the government's releasing rapid antigen test kits on the 1st of November, which essentially will give you an instant result to tell you if you're carrying the virus or not. A more equitable solution is to give people a chance to take a rapid antigen test rather than be forced to take a vaccine that they may have hesitancy about for good reason.
Thanks, Dave. All of these stories and thousands more can be found on our website without a paywall or in this week's Coast Community News, Coast Community Chronicle and the Pelican Post. Remember to subscribe to all of our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify and Instagram pages for updates throughout the week, and keep an eye out for Skyhall's video updates. To finish off this week, we leave you with a little bush tucker cooking idea. The coast's own bushman, Jake Cassar, and his daughter prepare a native warrigal greens and asparagus pie. Go to Jake's YouTube channel for the full recipe. We hope you have a safe and fun weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Today my daughter and I sustainably foraged this wild spinach, also known as warrigal greens, botanical name Tetragonia tetragonoides. It was right next to a popular walking track where people often walk their dogs, so we thought we'd give it a good wash in case a dog had weed on it. I always boil the plant twice and change the water, as it's quite high in oxalic acid, which can be harmful in large amounts. And boiling it reduces the levels greatly. So this is the second time around boiling, and I want to get it to a point where it's just starting to get mushy. Just as it starts to get mushy and those stems start to go a little bit soft, then I'm going to quickly put it in some cold water to maintain some of the texture of it. Edges bordering on being a little bit burnt, but sometimes you've got to risk burning things a little bit to get that really nice crispiness. Nice and crispy.
That's really good.